Hello everybody, how's it going? And welcome to the As Always Entertainment relaunch for 2021. I'm one of your hosts, James, and I'm joined as always by Tyler.
As always, how's it going, my friend?
It's going pretty well, how you doing?
Good, it's been a while since I've said as always, how's it going, my friend? So it's feels great.
Yeah.
I'm two things, I just want to point out straight away, buzzing about this relaunch and what's to come, because there's going to be some things straight off the bat that we're not announcing in this relaunch that are still coming. There's a lot in the works that's still happening that by now, by the time this comes out, it's been teased, so people might have some idea on Twitter, but they don't know what it is yet. So there's things happening, and I'm buzzing about it, bro. I'm fucking buzzing about it.
There's some hype.
There's some hype. Plus, also excited to get back. Dude, we do a lot of podcasts, but I'm always like, I'm excited for the break, but I always miss them, and I'm ready to come back. Even stronger, and there's so many projects on the way, and the last month has been crazy. I don't have a house. I have nowhere to live right now. My furniture and stuff is in my parents' garage.
Yeah.
And right now I'm sitting in a fucking sauna of a room. I'm sitting in a sauna of a room that people may recognize as the studio David, Jerome, and I work in to do and film his covers and music and stuff. That's where I'm right now. So I've been living with my girlfriend at the moment. While I look for a place. Now, here's the thing. Here's the exciting part. I can tell you, James, where my new studio is going to be. Because I'm not going to be in my room anymore. I'm going to have my own office. I'm going to have my own studio.
Oh, lovely.
That I'm going to be setting up, spending this week moving in my room. I need to repaint it, put furniture in, buy some stuff, and then I'm setting up the studio. Now, the thing is, the studio that I'm going to be living and working in is this one right here. So I'm actually going to be... Because I was always planning on moving in with David, so we're actually going to be moving into his family home that his mother owns. And she's got 3 rooms for rent. So my brother Harlan's going to live here. David's obviously lives here, and I'm going to live here. And we spent all last year building this studio as it was. There's so many mics. There's so much here. So today I'm going to move my PC and desktop in, and all my desk monitors, and then do some repainting, recurtain, put up some lights and displays and backgrounds. There's already some music displays behind me, but we've got a whole another wall. This place is huge. And it's going to become the music studio to work on David's music and covers this year. There'll be way more because I can force David to work because I live with him.
Yeah.
And for podcasts, for As Always Entertainment, for Dynamite, this will be the office space. Dave and I are going to pay to get it airconned in the next couple of weeks because it's a fucking sauna and impossible to work in here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it's literally in the backyard, its own big room, like off room in the backyard. So the sun comes in from all angles. It's so hot. It's a brick room that we've soundproofed and stuff.
Brick room.
So because it's brick, it's not insulated. So once you close the doors, if it's hot outside, it's fucking hotter inside. So it's insane, and I'm sweating bricks right now. I look good as fuck. Good. Obviously, my hair's on point, and you all know that. But I'm sweating, and I want everyone else to know that as well. But yeah, excited to be here. How have you been with your break and starting off with your sort of new year with the channel?
I mean, the break's always good. I can't say I had much of a full-on break, maybe like a few days, but I can't stay away for long, so I've been doing bits and pieces, although I haven't been like grinding out content. Obviously December is the advent calendar, so I'm doing shit every fucking day, but it's been nice to be away from the podcast for such a while, because I've felt very I'm looking forward to getting back to it. Like, this has probably been the longest break we've had. And obviously
really
there's multiple reasons for it, but one being the amount of stuff that we're working on behind the scenes, which is so fucking exciting. I can't wait to get into it all and announce it and have everybody fucking know. I think 2021 is going to be good. I'm ready to get back to podcasts, get back to As Always, and fucking everything else. It's going to be a big year, so it's going to be good.
And I think it's a bit of a rejuvenation for the podcast too, for maybe yourself, as I know I feel it, because the As Always podcast did so well last year and blew up, that I'm really enjoying what that is and where it is, you know what I mean? Like, it's just doing so well, and I'm happy to keep that going. Clubhouse is Clubhouse. It's always going to be fun. It's always good. We don't have the first announcement. I mean, some of the announcements you've done on Twitter already, but for people that... Most people won't know the Twitter stuff. The Cinema Room podcast is cancelled. We took a bit of a break due to COVID, but then I think... After talking about it, thinking about it, and sitting on it for a while, we've decided we're not going to be bringing that show back in 2021. Who knows what the future holds for it, but at this stage, it's not coming back. That doesn't mean there's no spoiler cast. There's still going to be spoiler casts, as in like an As Always podcast special. So that's, I guess, the first thing we can say. Do you feel better knowing that's gone, and the only shows we're going to be working on are the shows we know, we love, and are good?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Cinema Room was fun for a bit, especially when we first started it. I think there was a lot of laughs. Like, the episodes I enjoyed the most were, like, the really fucking dumb ones. More so than, like, the serious, trying to pick apart a movie type thing. Like, if we're talking, like, an Avengers Endgame or something, like, big like that, then they're always fun. But, like, it was those week to week, or I guess it was bi-weekly, just, like, I guess we need to fit something in. Like, or can we find a random new thing to watch or whatever? And it's just, like, it became so fucking tired. And so this is definitely the best choice, and it means that you're still gonna get those types of videos or podcasts.
If there's an Avengers movie, we're gonna do a spoiler cast for it.
Of course, so it's still gonna exist.
We'll be talking about Marvel. We'll be talking about Marvel. We'll be talking about your Star Wars, your any of your big movies that we watch, or shows that we watch, or games we play. We're gonna be doing spoiler casts for them. That's gonna happen. You don't need to worry about that. But we're only gonna do them when we want to do them. For things we want to do them on, and that makes it even better for us because you'll enjoy it because we're enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a big thing. There's a few things we can't announce that will revolve around two main things. One being we haven't launched the merch yet with the new art for 2021. That will be coming. It's going to be coming in a different way, so stay tuned for that. Is one thing, as well as. I mean, can we say, I guess, where the As Always podcast will be? I mean, let's announce we return on the 25th of January will be the first return episode 2021 of the As Always podcast. It'll be everywhere on podcast services used to, and that'll never change. And it's going to be on your YouTube channel for the first episode. But down the road, there may be some movement, and that's all I'm going to say for now.
Yeah. It'll have a new home. And we've talked about this for a while, but it might not come in the form that you were maybe originally thought it might have, because I mean we did talk about this before, but it ties into things that obviously we can't talk about, but the podcast will have a new home eventually, so just stay tuned listening to the podcast, stay tuned on our social media to know when it does move, because you never know, one day you might just find that it's just not on Lasers anymore and you haven't been paying attention, so pay attention. We'll be posting it everywhere, on Twitter, on our channels. We'll be talking about it. You should know if you care. Yeah,
and we're still going to be posting highlights on your channel and my channel now. Like, the Honey Dick will live in two places, but you'll do your own one, I'll do my own one. For the podcast, so just sort of bring people in. And maybe we'll do it that way, because I started doing highlights where it was like 2-minute clips over 10 minutes, so it was like multiple highlights on the channel, and people really like that, because like I don't have time to watch the whole podcast, but it's cool to come and watch 10-15 minutes, and I get a lot. So maybe it might just live on your channel, might be the way to go, because you have the bigger channel, draw people over. Either way, it works for me. I'm fine with that. I actually, as long as they exist in some way, shape, or form, I think it's the way to go. I am excited about that, and the As Always podcast, where that's going to go Clubhouse, and there will be more podcasts through Patreon that may be early access or exclusive that I'm working on the side, that are a bit of pet projects of mine now that I have more time. I don't have an answer for that. I'd like to do something with Jared and David down the road. I haven't decided what form that's going to take. I've got a little side project that if I do, it's only going to be on Patreon. So As Always members, patreon.com/AsAlways. You're going to, there's going to be more content and bonus content that's exclusive to you and early access to you coming this year. I can guarantee that, because James and I both have the time, and I certainly have way more time than I used to have to do that. And having my own studio space and workspace, it's going to motivate me so much more. It's been hard for years working in your bedroom. You know what it's like. It's hard to separate the relaxing time where you want to sleep in that room, where it's also the space you work in. So having this office that I can work in, have you found when you moved into your house, having that office affected you? Like, it benefited your work ethic?
Yeah, definitely. It was the biggest, because I mean, I've always worked a lot, but I think it just sometimes it gets on top of you, and when you're like living in the same space that you're working, it can become a lot. So I think like having that separate office space where I can just come in here and I can stream and make videos, and then I've got the rest of the house. Like, it's not my fucking bedroom. Like, I couldn't imagine doing that now. Going back to that, it'd be so weird. But that was a big thing. Having a space for that makes it like doubles productivity and motivation and all that shit. So it's definitely good.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's what that was my big point, and why it's been so hard to find a house. Plus, it's been so hard to find a house that's a 4-bedroom, because my city in particular in Australia, let alone Australia's done so well with COVID, but my city's done incredibly well with COVID, that everyone's moving here now. The borders have reopened around states in Australia, and lots of international people are moving here. So the market in Brisbane is the most competitive it's been in 10 to 15 years. So it's so hard to find places. There's 30, 40 groups of people going in every house inspection, and you've got to apply that day, or you don't have time to think about it. You've got to apply that day and pay for more they're asking for. And it's hard when families, you compete with families, because I'm a professional person. I've got a head on my shoulders, and I'm living with two mid-20 professional guys as well. We're not fuckwits. But when you have a share house with 3 guys, it doesn't sound as good as a family of 4 on an application.
Yeah, right.
So it's been really difficult to find a space big enough when you're competing with families. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to a 3-bedroom townhouse like I've lived in and have a studio in my room, and I don't want that. So this is the next best thing. And that's why I wanted to have videos out already at this time of the year, and I'm writing my Valhalla review, so that should be up in the next week. But like, that's the start of the year, and I've written my schedule out. There's plenty of stuff coming from my channel that I want to do. I just haven't been able to, because I literally don't have a space to record. Like, I've been writing my Valhalla script, and I'm going to record it hopefully today, but until my PC set up where my footage is, I can't actually do anything with editing. So
that makes sense.
As of this morning, the reason I've kept James, I was supposed to record this 2 hours ago with James, I kept going, I'm delayed, because I came over to talk to David and his mother about the move into here, and confirming that. So now I can sit in this room and be like, hey, look, it is confirmed. I brought like a box of all and setting up my laptop, my mic, my webcam that's on a weird microphone stand and everything. So it's a bit on the go today. But it's exciting for everything coming forward.
It is, yeah.
What are the other major things? Because you had made a big Twitter thread. I want to make sure.
I did make a Twitter thread. I mean, there's the other thing of the change to video podcasts. The layout is a bit different, but also muting the white a little bit, because we got a ton of people that were like, it's way too fucking bright. Like, and I get it when you're sitting and you're watching these podcasts at night. I don't want that to turn people away. People, click on it and they're like, oh, blimmin' heck, this is insane. I went through a few different variations. People on Discord gave me a hand, and we found a style that I think works nicely. So that's cool.
I like that a lot. I think as well, you made it like a black and white one, and I do like that a lot. And I think that would be cool for like spoiler casts.
I do like the black.
You know
and
what I mean?
One.
For like a special occasion when it's not a regular As Always podcast, but it's like an As Always podcast special. We can use that black and white background. I think would be cool potentially. Yeah,
I like the black and white one. It looks really nice. I've had a wallpaper on my phone for the past like 2 years or something that's black and white as always. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. For sure. And the new artwork, and George and Ethan also have the artwork. So all 4 pillars had artwork drawn by my brother, and they look amazing. So that's really cool. But majorly, like in terms of what you can expect, it's podcasts every week from us. The As Always podcast and the Clubhouse podcast the next week. Plus, we do spoiler casts when we want to do them. Plus, there's going to be the normal early access stuff and exclusives that we do when we put out big videos. I plan on once a month. I have no desire. You'll hear from the spoiler cast. You'll hear from my Valhalla review. I have literally no desire to talk about or play anything Assassin's Creed again. But the real life history videos I love. That's my plan, is once a month have a history video for Assassin's Creed. So that's the Assassin's Creed content you're going to expect from me, and I'm sure I'll talk about it on podcast when you guys do. But other than that, I don't want to be covering a new game. I don't want to even play a new game. That's where I'm at with that. But I'll be covering Fable, Horizon Forbidden West, and something I think I didn't have the time for, especially, and I don't do, is I'd think of a video, like you do them all the time. I love what you do. Like if you're playing something, or you found a new game and just something comes to your head, you're like, I just want to make a video on this. You make it, and it's great, and you make such good content. And I always have those moments where I'm like, I'd love to just make a video on this. I'm like, but I don't have time because I've got to make this thing, and I barely have time to make that as it is. Whereas now, a big part of me, a goal of mine this year is to, if I come up with a video, be okay with I'm like, okay, I'm not going to work on this other thing today. I want to make this, just make it. If you have an idea, just do it. Don't just tell yourself no. So, like, I will do the random video on other games, but it'll be timely. It'll be specific to probably what's going on when a new game's out. But yeah, that's what I want. I want to make my channel me and cover the games I love and the things I love about games, and make these podcasts what they are, which is to be able to talk about the things we love, and Clubhouse just be a fucking ball of laughs, and continue to work with not just you, James, but the other 4 pillars and conversations and the other people in our community to make more content and entertainment stuff, and make the 4 pillars community a sort of one-stop shop for so many pieces of entertainment that people can become attached to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big goal.
It is.
It's a big goal. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about with your channel this year, or as always, or anything else like that?
I don't know. I think, I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. Growing Lasers Live is obviously another big thing. I've been loving streaming recently. For the past, it's been, a bit, but streaming's been really fun, and like I've been growing the small community of people on Lasers Live, and that's been a ton of fun. So I really want to keep doing that. And then that really affords me to be able to take more time with videos. And I know I take ages anyway, but it's nice to not have to worry too much. So I'm just like, well, if I'm consistently streaming, every other evening or whatever, I can focus on doing those things and then make the videos that I want to make, whether it's like a smaller video. Like I'm going to work on a video for Cyberpunk and the absolute fucking mess that has been.
Oh my God.
I want to talk about
I can't wait for the As Always podcast next week, dude. I've got so much to talk to you about, and that's one of them.
There's a lot, yeah.
I got stories for days that I've been building up that I want to talk about in Clubhouse, and As Always. We should announce. So February 1st was when Clubhouse will return, the week after the As Always podcast. As standard, exclusive to patreon.com/As Always. Episode 100 with guest Jared. So that's going to happen.
What we're doing, yeah.
You, me, special guest Jared, Clubhouse 100. Are we going to do what we did last year? We make the first episode of the year available to everyone? That would be probably pretty cool.
I did talk about this with people on Discord. They're like, oh yeah, it's cool to have an episode public, but then is this the episode that we want to have public? It'd be a good episode, obviously. Like, people are going to be like, oh, this is great. But then maybe it's not like the Clubhouse norm, and so people might be like,
maybe 101, maybe 101. But then
also,
we'll
like, if we're putting it out to the public, is that like
the one you want is a good one? It's going to be a big one. Let's just start that down the road. But there'll be a public one early in the year.
There will be,
like we did last year. But it'll come out early. We're not going to put it out at the same time as Patreon gets it. But yeah, certainly anyway for patrons, $1 a month, Clubhouse 100 with special guest Jared. Plus, like we said on with this Twitter tease and other announcements, February 1st, pay attention. Head over to Twitter, pay attention to our channels. Things are happening. February 1st, a lot's going to go down, and you're going to have a good perspective on what's going to come for the rest of the year with us. So
it's exciting.
February 1st, mark your calendars.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting. Perfect. Well, with that then, did you have a subscriber goal for your channel this year?
Nah, not really. I'm gonna probably hit 200,000. That's cool. I just my goal honestly this year is to care less about numbers and statistics and everything, and just focus on creating things and doing streams and building this community up, and these new projects and things. That's really my goal, is to focus on stuff that I actually care about, rather than being so hung up on how many views did I get, how many subscribers did I get. I want that stuff to be secondary, because I feel like I've focused a lot on numbers. I want to detach myself a bit from it.
That's a good point. I feel like I haven't focused enough on numbers, and I've always focused on that. But now I think I want to do a bit of both. There needs to be a bit of balance. Because I would love to one day have 100,000 subscribers on my channel. I know I'll get there now.
Yeah.
I just want to get there.
For sure.
Get me there, and then I can sort of probably think like you, because I also need to think about numbers, because I need to get to a place where I don't need to work another job at all.
Yeah.
And then I can really do that. But ultimately, what we've been working with As Always, and what we've been working on with our February 1st announcement, are things I've wanted for years. These are things I've envisioned in my head for years that are coming together sooner than I even thought. And, I talked about last year, in 5 years from now, there's going to be a studio for As Always. There's going to be, these things I'm envisioning are going to happen in some way, shape, or form. It's never how you imagine it, but in some way, shape, or form, these things are happening, and I can't wait for everyone to see. As always, to continue to grow our podcast together. The guests we're going to get on this year, it's going to be a fun time. I can't wait. I really can't wait, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking brilliant.
Amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you all next week on January 25th for the return of the As Always podcast with James and myself. And then February 1st, Clubhouse 100, special guest Jared, exclusive to patreon.com/as always. And as well, another special announcement and big thing happening February 1st. So there might even be a chance Clubhouse comes out a day early on Patreon. That might be a thing we need to do. So
yeah, potentially.
But for patrons, just stay tuned to that on Patreon, and we'll keep you updated on all that for when these podcasts are coming out.
For sure.
Excited, James. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, brilliant. It's gonna be fucking sick. Can't wait. Catch you later,
Goodbye,
boys.
everyone. See you next week.